We spend a lot of time worrying about big picture headwinds like excessive inflation, Fed mandated slowdown. But there are some companies that seem to defy those headwinds. Take Trane Technologies. That's a major player in the heating, ventilation, air conditioning space with a refrigerated trailer kicker. You've seen them on the road, you just don't know it. You'd think this company would struggle given their exposure to new construction or the overall weakness in freight for the trailer business, but Trane keeps putting up excellent numbers. At the beginning of the month, they reported a blowout quarter, also issued phenomenal full-year forecasts. Even the recent market-wide sell-off, the stocks held up pretty well. How'd they pull it off? Let's check in with David Regnery. He is the chairman and CEO of Trane Technologies to get a better sense of the story. Mr. Regnery, hey, welcome to Mad Money.
Hey,
this
Jim,
is fantastic.
Thanks for having me.
All right, so for the younger people out there, including my daughter, who's always said, Dad, could you find me a company that's trying to make the planet cleaner? I've got in front of me a man who says our goals are decarbonization and sustainability. You've got the floor.
Yeah, they absolutely are. Our company's really founded in our purpose, which is to challenge what's possible and innovate for a sustainable world. And if you think about it, in what we look at in our industry, heating and cooling of buildings represents about 15% of all global greenhouse gas.
15%.
15.
Okay.
Heating and cooling of buildings. And then if you add on their food waste, it's another 10%.
Okay.
And you think about food waste, the majority of it comes from the way it's being transported. So we are in a sweet spot in Trane Technologies where we have 25% of the greenhouse gas that we can go after and really decarbonize it and make it greener.
Now, you said something unbelievable in the conference call I'm never going to forget. Being broken means too much energy. Explain that to people.
Well, what we did was we realized early on that if you think about a building, in 10 years ago, we used to think, oh, it's not cooling, it's not heating properly, so something has broken the system. That's now transformed to we're connected to buildings, we're connected to assets, and now something is broke when it's consuming too much energy. Right. So we don't roll a technician necessarily just when something isn't working binarily. We roll a truck when something is using too much energy.
Now, your passion is clearly to make it so that there's less carbon. And it seems like that you have a huge amount of technology, a lot of really fantastic scientists that work at your company right now.
We sure do. We have scientists that, this is an incredible story, but usually you don't find the incumbent that's a disruptor.
Right.
And what we were able to do is, in a traditional building, you have a cooling plant, usually a chiller plant, and you have a heating plant, usually a boiler. What our team did was combine the two into one system. We call it a thermal management system. We have eliminated the need to use fossil fuel for heating. And when you think about the 15% of carbon for heating and cooling of buildings, the majority of that comes from the heating side because it's fossil fuel. Right. And the efficiency levels you get by combining these systems, they could be 3 to 4 times more efficient than the conventional system.
And I know you mentioned that in conjunction also with Europe, which we know is far ahead of the United States in terms of fighting global warming. So that must be a very good seller.
Yeah, I mean, our business in Europe is just has a fantastic fourth quarter. Our revenue growth in the fourth quarter for our commercial HVAC in Europe was up 40%.
Now,
40.
That's incredible since everyone thinks that Europe is moribund. Obviously not. Now, you make a lot of money once the product is in. You have a consistent service revenue. I mean, you're not just saving the world. You're making a lot of money for shareholders.
That's right, Jim. I mean, 30% of our revenue is from services. And it's now becoming more connected. It's becoming more digitized. And it's just a fabulous business that we're very proud about here at Trane Technologies.
On your conference call, your CFO said something very unusual. He said, our shares remain attractive, trading below our calculated intrinsic value. Most CEOs and CFOs never willing to say that their stock is cheap. I said, Jim, that's up to you. You've done some work on this. You've modeled what your company should be worth?
We sure have. We're always looking at our intrinsic value, and we have a lot of firepower to buy back shares.
More than $3 billion.
More than $3 billion. And when we're in that situation, we have a balanced capital allocation strategy. So we're going to pay a competitive dividend. We're going to always look to reinvest in our company. Right. The way we've been successful is through this relentless innovation. And it creates a flywheel. So we're always going to look at great investments. And then we'll certainly look at share buyback and M&A to make sure that we deploy 100% of our free cash flow.
When I first met Trane, you were part of a major conglomerate. A conglomerate, by the way, was run by a very good person. Are you able, a company like Trane lost in a conglomerate is a company that can't grow. I mean, you are just Trane now, and it works, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, I'm very proud of our success we've had in 2022. Organic revenue is up 15%. Our EPS growth was 21%. We delivered, again, strong cash flow. So this business is very vibrant. It's growing, and the mega trends around sustainability continue to intensify.
You also made it clear that you had some supply chain issues. Those are in the past. And you, by the way, you're not raising the alarm. You're not seeing inflation that's going to be such a negative that you're going to have to asterisk your numbers this year.
That's correct, Jim. I would tell you that supply chain, our team's done a fantastic job with the supply chain. Unfortunately, it's not 100% fixed. It's not back to what I would call normal, but it will get better over time, and we're seeing a gradual improvement.
And people should understand that when you build a chip factory, when you build a battery plant, when you build a data center, that's your bread and butter.
There's a lot of cooling capacity required when you build, as you just said.
Now, can you tell us about what I always laugh at, but the Inflation Reduction Act might mean for your company?
Yeah, I mean, the short answer is it's going to be a tailwind.
Right.
I think that you have two components of that. One is a tax credit that's been implemented.
Right.
The other is the rebate, which is where funds are going to flow from the Fed to the states, and each state will have a little bit different framework that they'll operate in. So we think that's a tailwind in the back half of the year.
That's 2024. 2023 is schools.
ESSER funding.
Right.
So in 2022, in the education vertical, our equipment orders were up 40%, 4-0.
These are better than tech numbers, people. This is what you're looking for in this environment. I want to congratulate you. Trane is a great company. You've done fantastic work. Dave Regnery is the chairman and CEO of Trane Technologies, CT, and I've always loved this business. I always loved Thermo Geek, too. You've done great stuff.
Thank
you very much. Mad Money's back there to the break.